Hello, and today on Whiskey in the Thicket, we're going to do Garrison Brothers Sonora. Just released, or I just got my hands on it, so stay tuned. Hello, I'm Mark, and welcome to Whiskey in the Big Thicket. Haven't posted a video in a while. It's because I had a external hard drive crash where I had dozens of videos saved, all gone. They could not recover them. Was pretty disheartened by that and have not even tried to make a video in several months. So yeah, that's where I am. Actually, I probably haven't had but whiskey twice in the since June, and here we are in the freezing November of the Big Thicket of Southeast Texas. It's just like 80 degrees today. So anyway, so today happened to go and get this bottle yesterday when Garrison Brothers happened to come to town, and they had this as a tasting, and we were, as part of the tasting, we were allowed to buy a bottle. So I went ahead and grabbed a bottle. This is Sonora. So let me pour this. And Garrison Brothers is the whiskey I hate to love, but yeah, I'm more of a Scotch and single malt fan. I don't really care for bourbon, but I can't help but like Garrison Brothers. It's a Texas whiskey. Garrison Brothers was the first whiskey outside of Kentucky and Tennessee that was allowed to be called bourbon. So this is, don't let anyone tell you this is bourbon. It is allowed to be called bourbon. It is distilled in Rye, Texas, which is near Fredericksburg, which I'm headed to in 2 weeks. They mostly produce Texas straight bourbon whiskey. They were founded in, I think, 2006, and they were granted the permit to be called bourbon outside of Tennessee and Kentucky, and so it makes them kind of the oldest legal bourbon distillery in Texas. And they did not have plans to sell outside of Texas, but I believe they do now. So I think that somewhere along the lines that changed, but because I swear I saw it when I was in Pennsylvania. But anyway, what else can I tell you? Yeah, this one you'll note they all have they're one who does a lot of the wax. They make a honeydew, which is yellow. They make a ladybird, which is purple. Their regular is a black, but then they do special ones for different things. This is supposed to be ruby red. I'm going to say it's garnet for the Gamecocks, who play A&M this weekend, and they're probably going to get spanked by A&M. But nonetheless, this is a 7-year-old straight bourbon whiskey. It's finished in rye barrels. It's 54% ABV. The bourbon was originally their kind of core wheat. It's a wheated bourbon, and it is kind of their core single barrel or regular offering of 4 years old. And then this one was then finished 3 years in Rye Casks. I asked about where the rye came from. Some proprietor nonsense. They would not say where it came from, but anyway, there's only a total of 30 barrels that are made, and they said it sounded like, from what they were saying, what the rep was saying last night, was that this may be a one-off. They may not do this again. It was crafted by an all-female team led by Samantha Olvera, and it's named after the caverns of Sonora in Texas. And I think every $5 that for every bottle you buy, they donate $5 to some preservation of the caverns, or maintaining it, I don't know. All right, so let me show you the bottle. Pretty cool. And here is the glass. Very dark, typical Texas whiskey. Yeah, actually they were telling us last night the Garrison Brothers barrels are like twice as thick as your normal Tennessee barrels, because just the wood, they have to, because of our heat, and they use the wood because of the heat, and particularly Central Texas, where they do get some cold, where that whiskey's going in and out of the wood, pushed in, pushed out. And so yeah, they said their first experiment back in 2006 or so, that a lot of the casks exploded because the Texas heat was too much, and they had to make some modifications. But I thought that was a cool story, but hopefully I'll learn more when I go there in 2 weeks. But okay, so let's see what we get. I did have it last night, so I am somewhat familiar with this. It's not going to be totally new to me. So, all right. Oh, I guess I don't know if I can read you anything on the bottle. It just says corn variety, food grade, one white corn, South Texas Farms, release date 2025, bottle number 2233. Here you go. Garrison Brothers, Texas Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in rye whiskey barrels. Sonora endures 7 scorching Texas summers, first in white American oak, then finished in rye whiskey barrels. The result is notes of dark chocolate, which I definitely got yesterday, cinnamon, and rye spice, inspired by the Crystal Kingdom hidden beneath Texas limestone and forged through the perseverance of visionary women who brought this to life. That's it. Okay. Typical Texas whiskey. That leather note is there. I get that chocolate from the rye. Yeah. Oaky. Yeah, typical Texas. Not quite as much leather as I normally get on Texas whiskey, but still there. Little vanilla with it, some toffee. Yeah, I'm getting more vanilla. Yep, leather, vanilla, some rye spice, that chocolate from the rye spice. Very sweet smelling. That's one thing, they don't do a sour mash, they do a sweet mash. They told us the percentages of corn. I'll try to if I can find it again, I'll put it on the screen, but I don't remember what it was, but it was, I want to say they had 10% barley, but vanilla, leather, creamy. There's some a little bit, but really less chocolate than I remember, but a little bit of chocolate rye, butterscotch, maybe vanilla, toffee, really toffee. I'm going to say more so definitely get the rye, chocolate rye. I get the leather, and then I'd say the next note I get is toffee, and then like vanilla, maybe butterscotch. I don't get a lot of oak. Very sweet smelling, you know, typical sugary, brown sugary bourbon. All right, enough, we'll see. Leather. Honey, sweet. Man, that's almost tastes like their honey cask. Yeah, definitely leather, honey, some citrus, sweet. Yeah, now it's more butterscotch or maybe like sweet vanilla, like buttercream. Yeah, very sweet. Not getting as much of the chocolate as I thought I would, but all right, let's see if I get anything else. Yeah, that buttercream coming through. Buttercream. Now I'm getting the honey. I didn't get it on the nose. Now I'm getting it on the nose. So buttercream, honey, leather, vanilla, very sweet smelling. I don't get that that citrus fruit that I would have thought would be there. I don't get a lot of that chocolate. Last night I remember getting a lot of chocolate. I'm not getting that. This is just sweet, sweet, you know, honey, buttercream, leather. All right, let's see. Definitely leather on the palate. Get that leather. I'm getting the rye, spicy rye. Leather and rye hits you. Leather and the chocolate hits you. Then it turns spicy rye and cinnamon, and it goes into honey and like buttercream. So that's kind of the three. Front palate is that leather and chocolate. Then it goes into the the cinnamon and the black pepper, and then it finishes with the butterscotch and vanilla and creaminess. So yeah, that is excellent. I can't really have a complaint. That is a fantastic whiskey. I will try and find another bottle for sure. I don't know what negative I would say other than, I don't know. I can't complain about the spice. So that may be like a 10 out of 10. That is like a 9 or a 10. I don't know what. That's a 9 or a 10. I'm really torn on that. That may be one of the best whiskeys I've had. I'm gonna say 9. No, I might say 10. This is fantastic. Fantastic whiskey. I probably haven't given but maybe 2 or 3 10s in all these videos, but this is probably a 10. Fantastic. Find it, get it, love it. We'll see you next time.